The four-chord song is made out of just four notes: G, D, E minor, and C. These four notes make up thousands of songs that we all know and love. For example, we have Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Take On Me by a-ha, Lady Gaga's Poker Face, and the Beatles' Let It Be. However, I will be looking at three main points. What makes this chord progression? When did it grow in popularity? And why is it used so much? First, let's learn what a four-chord progression actually is. First, it takes a major first, then it takes a major fifth, a minor sixth, and then a major fourth. So if you're in the C of key, it would be C, G, A minor, and then F. The best way to explain this is on a piano. So if we were in the key of C, we would start with a C being our major first. Then we go up four notes to our major fourth, an F. Then we go up one more note to our major fifth, a G, and one more to our major sixth, an A. However, since this chord progression calls for a minor sixth, we would use the minor A, making our chord progression C, G, F, and A minor. Now, there is a more popular use of just notes, which is in the G progression, which is G, D, E minor, and then C. So now we will move on to when did it grow in popularity. When I was looking for information on this topic, I came across a video by David Bennett Piano, who compiled all the usages of this chord progression throughout the year. The first big chord progression he saw was in the 1980s, when it was used 30 times across this entire period. He stated that in previous years it was used, but now it is just used as a solo piece. His exact quote is, something that became more and more common in this time period was that it would just be a repetition of these four chords. The next time we see this chord progression become more popular was in the punk pop era of the 1990s, when it really started to become cliche. This is because of all these songs here, all used the four chord progression, all of them being the same type, just different lyrics. So going back to this, after the pop punk era, pop musicians all around in every type of genre found it easier to use these four chords, seeing this massive up spike here, going all the way to the year 2010 to 2011, where 30 songs alone in that 1 year were released just using these four chords. Another quote by David Bennett Piano is, at some point in the early 2000s, it seemed like the go-to chord progression to use. Once again, its highest point was at 2010 to 2011, and then we see a straight decline as the media realized how cliched this chord has become, straight all the way down to a basically zero usage rate in 2020. Next, I will look at why it was used. First of all, it's simple. Pop musicians more focused on using their words to express the meaning of the music rather than the chord progression. So instead of spending hours upon hours trying to find a good chord progression to use to fit their song, they would use the four chord progression and then focus more on their lyrics that they had. Secondly, it's used in multiple keys. As I've stated before, I've stated the C and G chord, the G being the most popular. However, Future Audio Workshop says the 1-5 minor 6 4 chord progression is the most pleasing progression to play in key, major, minor, and practically any genre or type of music. The final reason I have for its popularity is just that it was popular. Throughout the entire age of history, people have gone through trends, and it's the same in the music industry. For instance, in the 1940s, there was another chord progression called a 12-chord progression that was used, but it died out in 1960, just like the 4-chord progression did in 2012. Take fashion, for instance. In many decades, we see fashion changing throughout all the years. In the 1970s, we had the disco look, where people would have big poofy hair, V-neck shirts, and tons of sparkly clothing. Then it moved on to the 1980s, where the fitness era came around. People were wearing puffy headbands, nice long sleeve shirts with many neon colors. Then we had the 1990s, where we go back to the pop punk era, where everyone was wearing dark clothing with eyeliner, trying to look as depressed as possible. Music works the same way. It takes the trends of the style of how people are feeling, and then once it's forgotten about, it disappears. People jump on bandwagons of trends trying to seem to be more popular, and they just stop. The 4-chord progression is a style of music that is now infamous and cliche. Since its constant abuse through the years, it has lost many attractions, but is still used in many types of music. Though it has made many popular songs, it still has many more popular songs to be used in, and it will be always remembered by the music industry. Thank you.